What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Kosko with On3 Sports, and I'm pleased to be joined today by three-time Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth. Mark, pleased to talk to you once again as we kick off the 2023 NFL season. But, of course, with the NFL season comes a lot of tailgating, either at home or abroad, wherever you may be. Tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
Yeah, well, I think it starts for me. It's always at home, right? And bringing over friends and, talking a little smack. And it always starts with the television set. LG OLED C3 TVs, the go-to televisions, bright colors, crisp pictures. LG OLED celebrated as the best TV by experts worldwide, whether you're watching movies or you're gaming or you're doing what I'm doing, watching football 24/7. It's better on LG OLED C3 from 42 to 83 inches. You can find out more information at LG.com. And then you got to have great food. Butterballs, hearty turkey sausage links, perfect for game day. They're pre-cooked, so they only take minutes on the grill. Robust flavors. You could serve it on a toasty bun with your favorite condiments, saute it with veggies. It's delicious. Butterball.com for more information and for a bunch of recipes. And then how about the ice cream cake? How about pulling out an ice cream cake at halftime, serving it to your guests? Going to be great. Carvel ice cream cakes in your local grocery department. The bakery freezer cake. They've got the game ball cake for limited time only now through the Super Bowl. That's the game ball cake. Delicious. I love icecreamcakes.com for more information. And that's kind of how we do it at my place when I get to watch Monday Night Football after I get done calling a Sunday night game or a Sunday game wherever I happen to be around the nation.
We'll get into Sunday in just a bit, but of course, it is Thursday, kickoff of the NFL season, Kansas City and Detroit. So, got to talk about these two teams. It's an interesting matchup. Chiefs, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions. Mark, you're looking ahead. They could repeat this year. They are loaded. Maybe no Travis Kelce tonight. We'll see. Lions team on the rise. First impressions of tonight's football game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just tell you from experience, the toughest stadium in the National Football League to play in is Kansas City. I mean, the fans sit right on top of you. They're absolutely rabid. They're so loud. I mean, when we used to go there when I was a member of the Broncos, we'd scrap out about 35% of our offense. We just couldn't run it. It was too noisy. We dumped the 7-step drops. We dumped 5-step drops that have hitches. We limited us to 5-step quick throws and 3-step quick throw drops. That's basically all we did. Like, you walk in there, you win a game in Kansas City, you're a damn good team. Now, Travis Kelce hurts them. Chris Jones hasn't signed his contract as of yet, I don't believe. So that hurts them a little bit. But, Patrick Mahomes makes up for a multitude of sins. So, I would not bet against Kansas City. I would not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to even beat them, as you mentioned, in Arrowhead. So another team that actually has experience of beating them in Arrowhead is the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow said he is ready to go after a offseason or a training camp scare with an injury. It was his calf down towards it. Everyone thought it was his Achilles all of a sudden. But he's back, ready to go. It seems like this is the biggest challenger to the Chiefs in the AFC. Do you believe that as well? And do you think this team, led by Joe Burrow, can get back to the Super Bowl and maybe even win the Lombardi Trophy this year?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to watch them, and hopefully his calf is completely healed and doesn't give him any problems. Everybody thinks that, that hey, listen, he's a quarterback and this, that, and the other, as long as he doesn't scramble. But oftentimes it's about, stride and that pressure, that force that you create from your feet, rotational force from your feet through your legs, through your hips into your arm. And that's how you get, a little mustard on the ball. So it'll be interesting to watch to see exactly how he responds to that. But let me just tell you, Joe Burrow, I am a huge fan. I just don't think there's anybody in the National Football League that will stand in the face of danger, take Rydell to the teeth, and not even flinch. And there's a special type of toughness for Joe Burrow. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, and certainly think in the AFC with him. And then obviously what's going on with the Jets right now, and Aaron Rodgers going over to the Jets, a lot of buzz about the Jets. There's just a lot of good teams. Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. I mean, I tell you what, so many good young quarterbacks in the AFC.
No doubt about that. You mentioned the Jets and, of course, the Bills as well. Those are the other two biggest challenges. But it seems like the Jets, obviously with the addition of Hard Knocks on HBO this year, this seems like this is the biggest story in the NFL. We could talk about the Chiefs. We could talk about the Bengals, Bills, Eagles, Cowboys, anything. But it's Aaron Rodgers and it's the Jets. I mean, have you seen anything like this in recent memory? Of course, it's very similar to Brett Favre when he went over to the Jets and then eventually to the Vikings. But and obviously with Tom Brady going over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I feel like this thing with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and it's a veteran team, but it's a young team, it's a hungry team, very talented team. This just seems a little bit different here in 2023.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously because of the Hard Knocks, the following of the whole thing with Robert Saleh and Hard Knocks and Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. But I think it's most similar to Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay had this unbelievable defensive structure and this defensive football team. And then, you look at Tampa at that time, I mean, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, they just had unreal talent on the offensive side of the ball. And I look at the Jets right now. Remember, they were the 4th ranked defense in football last year without offensive efficiency, without a great quarterback. So now you plug in Aaron Rodgers, his leadership, his ability to play on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, with that defense, if that defense, you would have to think that they're only going up from 4th ranked beyond, because now they've got the complementary nature of Aaron Rodgers running that offense. So I've got a ton of hope and a ton of expectations for the Jets. It's going to be interesting to watch them play. But yeah, they're a huge story, and they're going to be fun. And we get to watch them kick off the season Monday night against the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know about you, but I do feel like there's a little bit of a rift within the Bills organization. Like, last year, I thought Josh Allen didn't play as well, especially in the red zone, turning the ball over. Stephon Diggs has had some issues this offseason, and I just don't think you can ignore those issues. It just feels like they're ready for a little bit of a slide from their perch as the number 1 team in the AFC East.
Yeah, it's a good point as well. I was thinking about the same thing, where this team is just knocking on the door, divisional playoff, AFC title game, but just can't get back to the Super Bowl, can't get over the Chiefs or Bengals hump. So it's an interesting point, and definitely one to watch out for and see if Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden just takes over the AFC East on Monday. Over in the NFC, I know we're a little short on time, but of course, look at the Eagles and the 49ers. That's probably the top 2 teams in the NFC. Everyone throws the Cowboys in there as well. So maybe a 3-team race to the top, and the rest of it is like, well, we'll see what happens. It's almost like a crapshoot in the NFC. How do you see that stacked up going into the start of the season?
Yeah, I think, well, roster-wise, from the top to the bottom, the 2 best rosters in football, because they're big, they're physical, but they're also incredibly athletic, are the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, like you mentioned. The Cowboys have a ton of talent, but come on, they're the Cowboys. Like, they get in the playoffs and they crap in their helmets. So, I don't know that I have a lot of faith in them. I think the whole NFC East is really intriguing to me. I mean, the Giants were a playoff team. They go out and get Waller. I think, Daniel Jones continues to ascend in his career under the tutelage of the Giants and Brian Dable. And then I think Washington, I know Sam Howell's, a 2nd-year quarterback, a 5th-round pick. I know there's some learning curve that's going to go on, but you look at the Washington Commanders. I mean, outside the numbers, their receiving core is incredibly talented. Their backs are incredibly talented. I think their offensive line will be better than you think. And defensive line, I don't know that there's a better defensive line in football when you start with Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. They are beastly up front. So I think they're a lot better team than people give them credit for. I think that NFC East is going to be just a bloodbath throughout the course of the season.
It's almost throwing the NFL back to the 80s and 90s, where everyone was just beating each other up right there. 2 more for you, Mark. Obviously, your former team, the Denver Broncos, in the news a lot this offseason, of course, with Sean Payton as the new head coach. Russell Wilson had his struggles last year. I remember talking to you last year about Russell Wilson saying that, maybe not a Super Bowl team last year, but, he still has, what he had in Seattle to make him a great quarterback. Does this thing get resurrected here in 2023 with Russell Wilson and the Sean Payton combo?
Yeah, I think there's an accountability factor. I think Russell will have a big bounce back season. One of the things about Sean, and I know Sean well, and I've worked for Sean in the past. Sean is all about not only accountability, but he's also about putting you in a position to succeed. I've always talked about this. Put a guy in a position to fail. Don't be mad at the guy for failing. You're the dumbass that put him there, right? So, put him in a position to succeed. Sean is big believer in mitigating your own potential disasters. So all the things that Russell was asking to do and all the things that they were asking Russell to do last year that he doesn't do well. Hey, you know what? You're not Drew Brees. That's okay. You're Russell Wilson. You're pretty damn good. Let's lean let's lean in and press into the things you can do, and let's stay away from the stuff you're not good at. And I don't, there's nothing wrong with that. And Sean Payton will put him in those positions to have some success. I expect a big bounce back year from Russell Wilson.
Last one for you here. Mark Schlereth with me on 3 Sports. Mark, obviously we went around the horn throughout the entire league, but when it's all said and done, it's about who's playing in the Super Bowl this year come Vegas in February. Your Super Bowl pick and maybe a dark horse we should be watching out for.
Oh yeah, well, for me, I think it's easy to go Philly and Kansas City again in a rematch, but I'm going to go San Francisco and the Jets just because I want something different. And I hate, Kansas City as my Denver ties. They beat us 15 straight times in a row, so I can't pick them to be in a Super Bowl again. And then, dark horse team. There's so many teams that have potential to be good. Whether it's a team like the Chargers. A lot of people have faith in them. I think Justin Herbert's incredible. I don't know about Staley and some of the decisions he makes. I think Green Bay is going to be a lot better than people think. I think you talk about Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love has learned under the tutelage. He got challenged last year by Aaron Rodgers to pick up his game. I think he's done that. I think they'll be a team to watch. Very interesting team for me.
Definitely got to put eyes back on Green Bay, even without Aaron Rodgers. Mark, appreciate the time as always. Good luck with your work this season on NFL on Fox, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Take care.
Mark Schlereth with me right here on 3 Sports.